It is time for Renee Report. I know I haven't done one in like almost a month because I've been lazy. Because I like to pretty up and have really good stories. And I've just been lazy and tired. Anyways, the reason why I'm doing it this week, I just recorded my podcast, Renee Unedited, because I don't really edit a lot in general, but for my podcast, it was really good. And I'm going to talk about the stories that are in the podcast, just more edited, more PG. So eventually I'll just record myself recording the podcast. So that's eventually what I'm going to do, because it's a lot to do, the podcast and then the video to follow up. So I think every time I do a podcast, I'm going to do a Renee Report. So they're not going to be every week, or they're going to be kind of like every couple weeks now, which I like better, because usually one story I read about or talk about, there's like a follow-up the next day, so it gives me a while. Anyways, this is a Renee Report. If you haven't seen this before, I am Renee. I talk about a few entertainment stories and what I've been watching on Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus. So I'm just gonna get right into it, which I really didn't get right into it. Now I'm gonna get into it. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, so they are dating, and I've talked about that before. But it was rumored she cast him because she had like a little crush on him. She actually casted him because she didn't want to work with Shia LaBeouf. So I guess originally in the movie that she's directing, Harry Styles is in that movie. It's like My Little Darlings or something Darlings. Anyway, Shia LaBeouf was originally cast, but she didn't really want a jerk or bad vibes on set. So she recast him with someone who comes across as very charismatic, and that was Harry Styles. And they liked each other after. I mean, she could have had a crush on him, and that's why she cast him. Anyways, Armie Hammer. So there's more since I've recorded the podcast about him. So what I talked about in the podcast, which is really good, listen to it on SoundCloud. My husband Travis is on it with me. He's really good on the air. He's very talented on air voice. No, he really does have a good voice. Anyways, what I talked about on the podcast was Armie Hammer. So he's been accused of wanting to eat women when he's in an intimate setting with, I'm trying to put it very PG, but a few women screenshotted the Instagram DMs that he sent them. So he kind of got recast in he was supposed to be in a movie with J-Lo. They recast him, and his agency kind of let him go. I'm not really for sure on that part of the story. Anyway, so his wife finally spoke out last week. And she kind of was I didn't know what was going on, very much apologizing to anybody who felt like a victim, but she really had no clue he was like this, which, I think some people, when they have a weird fetish with certain people, they don't express that. So she could be kind of right, but when you've been with someone for 10 years, they're going to do something a little weird. So she kind of probably had an idea, but ignored it. So I don't blame her. She has 2 kids with him. She wants to take care of the kids, so that's what she's doing. Anyways, today it came out that Armie Hammer is connected to a couple murders that have been going on. So it's getting to, I guess he could be a serial killer. Oh my gosh, I feel so I like Armie Hammer, and I was this is all a hoax, this is a lie, but there's some stuff going on. When there's so much information about one person, some of it, at least a little bit, has to be true. So more to come on that. On to what to watch. Saw the Super Bowl. It was okay. I mean, I'm glad Tom Brady won. I mean, this is his 7th Super Bowl that he won, and he really wanted it. I didn't have a favorite person to win. I'm all about the halftime show. And I didn't think it was a great halftime show. It was okay. I mean, it was what I thought The Weeknd would do. I do have a theory that they probably asked, the Super Bowl people asked a few other artists to perform, and they declined, and The Weeknd's I'll do it, but I'm doing it my way. And he did. He paid for half of it anyways, because you do it for free. So he used a lot of his own money to do the whole, and it looked this is what I would think his concert would be like. So that was good. I think ultimately I'm just not a huge fan of The Weeknd, and I feel like Super Bowl halftime show should be someone extremely popular, very top 40, or rock, or, you know, hip hop, like, you know, like I like when they bring in an old school artist, you know, so it was okay, which is what I predicted, but all right. And also the documentary, everyone's talking about it, the New York Times, it's like a series on Hulu, and this is one of the episodes is called Framing Britney Spears. It's about her conservatorship. There's so many different ways to say it. The documentary goes into a lot of detail. It's really good. I've always had a soft spot for Britney Spears. I've always liked her. I've always been a fan. I've always thought she was really sweet. I do have to say, and I never saw her perform live before 2013. I saw like a showing of her concert. It was Femme Fatale, and it was like a whole radio thing, and I took a couple of my friends, and I went with a couple coworkers, and it was like a preview of the concert that she was going to perform the next day in Sacramento. So she was supposed to do like a full out like rehearsal, and it's supposed to be exactly how it's supposed to be. So I never saw her perform before then. At this pre-concert, I think at one time she was probably a really great dancer, but I remember her moves being very stiff. Maybe she wasn't doing it full out. So I feel like her performance has declined since the late 2000s because she was going through a lot. And kind of the documentary kind of explains a lot of reasoning why she is who she is. But I follow her on Instagram. Some things she posts are really weird. Some of them are kind of funny. You know, she posts herself dancing a lot, which she can do very well, like interpretive dance very fluidly. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot going on. You got to watch the documentary, especially if you're a fan or you just grew up knowing Britney Spears. You got to watch. So it's really good. Finally, Bridgerton. I am on episode 7, I think. It's really, really good. I've been talking about on the radio, don't watch it around your kids because sexy scenes show up randomly. And episode 5 to 6 to 7, there's a lot of stuff going on, so be careful if you have like children in your house, but it's really good. I really suggest watching Bridgerton. It goes with all the hype people have been talking about with it. So anyways, that's pretty much it. That is the Renee Report. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week.